for Tuesday, January 19th, 2021 at 6:30 PM on the Zoom platform. Council President, you want to call the meeting to order?
The meeting is called to order. Please quiet all cell phones and other portable devices not in use to record this meeting. Please limit your responses to the allotted time in the beginning and end of the meeting. Council shall not exceed 5 minutes at the end of the meeting. To speak in this meeting, the public is required to state clearly their name and address and adhere to all rules of the meeting. Loud and unruly outbursts shall not be tolerated, and if necessary, your microphone will be muted by the clerks. All social distancing rules shall be followed, and all persons shall wear a mask at all times when a space has more than one person in a room for this meeting. Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Okay, the meeting starting at 6:31 PM. Councilor Stevenson,
Present.
Councilor Gowdy,
Present.
Councilor Martin, Councilor Martin. Done.
Counselor Martin, unmute your mic, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes, she's calling the
All right,
roll.
I'm present.
thank you. Councilor Austin,
Present.
Councilor Smith,
Present.
thank you. We next have remarks of the public on agenda items, 2-minute time frame, please.
Go down there working for him, doing his dirty work.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are
I'd
there-
like to make a motion to move to waive the 24-hour rule.
Oh, okay, okie dokie. Well, I'll tell him you called. Okay. Okay.
That's Willa.
Please mute your mic if you are not speaking in the meeting.
Okay, okie dokie. See you later. Bye-bye. I'm good.
Okay, Madam Clerk,
Yes,
I want to make a motion to waive the 24-hour rule.
is there a second?
Second.
Okay. I'll call the roll. Councilor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy,
Yay.
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Austin, Councilor Austin, Councilor Smith,
Yes, can I have a reasoning, please?
Because we got to add something to the agenda. We have some legislation we have to add to the agenda, Councilman Smith.
Yay.
motion to suspend 24-hour rule. It's carried.
Yeah, I have one other motion. We can move on. I move that we invoke the rule number 9.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
Yay. Second.
Call the roll. Councilor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy,
Yay.
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Austin,
Yeah, and in the future, can we say why we,
Yeah, the reason is
yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead.
see
Because
nothing on the agenda.
we're adding new stuff to the agenda. That's why.
Okay.
All right.
is that a yay, Councilor Austin?
Yeah.
Councilor Smith?
Yay.
Okay. Motion to suspend Rule 9 is carried. Someone like to provide a motion to add the following legislation to the agenda?
You need me to make the motion, Madam Clerk, or are you making the motion?
Martin, you would have to make it.
Okay. I move that we add, I don't have the numbers but
Yeah,
to add to the agenda. I don't have that in front of me on the computer. I don't.
We have resolution 0421.
Where's the next?
Zero. Okay, then we add resolution 0426 to the agenda.
No, I'm
What is
sorry. 0421,
0421,
0521,
0521.
and 0621.
Okay. I
Can we
move,
break down
I
which
need to
roads?
do them separately or can I do them all together?
You can do them all together.
When did
Okay,
that start?
I'm sorry, I think they should be separate.
Yeah,
that's fine. I move that we add 0421 to the agenda.
Okay, is there a second? Can we have a second to move resolution 0421 to the agenda?
What is it?
Would you read 0421?
Yes. One moment. I apologize. I'm on a different system here. Please bear with me.
I don't even see none of that agenda. Oh, let me see.
We need a from you, Dottie, for 0421.
Okay.
Um,
Can you see resolution 0421 on the screen?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see it now.
Oh, it's the
Okay.
temporary.
This is
Okay.
a resolution.
20,
0421, and we need a second.
Second,
I call the roll. Counselor Stevenson,
Yay.
Counselor Gowdy,
yay.
Counselor Martin,
Yay.
Counselor Austin,
yeah, it's
Counselor-
overdue for talk, yes.
Counselor Smith,
Is this, you said resolution number 04-21, a resolution to make temporary appropriations in various funds for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of East Palestine for the period between January 1st, 2021 and March 31st, 2021, not exceeding $5,767,094.96.
Yes,
Point of order? Point of order, hasn't this already been
it was vetoed.
passed?
It was vetoed.
No, it was not veto. It was a line item veto, wasn't it?
Are you saying that this is 54-20? It has to have that number if it's the same
Now,
one.
this is 0421, Counselor.
No,
No.
this is Attorney Williams. No, this is the same thing as was veto, so it would have to have the same number. 54-20.
No.
This is the same as was passed on December 29th. Right,
Clerk.
correct?
Clerk,
yeah.
This was passed by council, but it was vetoed by the mayor. Council
was not
does
vetoed.
not have enough votes to override the veto, so at that time, it dies, and you have to give it a new number and bring it forward again.
No, what you have to do is you have to use the same number to see if it will pass with 4 votes. That 54-20 has to be brought forth to see if it has 4 votes. This is the exact same resolution. So the point of order is it is being represented to council as 54-20 to see if it has 4 votes to override the line item veto. That's the appropriate procedure, not bring the same legislation in as a new number.
Deputy, what is your
Correct.
position on this?
In the past, when a prior mayor vetoed something, we didn't have enough votes to override the veto. We had to give it to people, reintroduce with the new number.
Can I ask a question? I don't remember did we vote to override a veto or not? I don't remember having that vote. We never voted that.
This
So
is,
is that
that's what
just
I'm
an
saying. This is
assumption?
the same thing. I mean, this is the same,
And the veto has to be done 7 days after, the override of a veto according to charter has to be within 7 days after the mayor signed the veto.
Right.
it
And the
has to be
reason
at
it
the
wasn't
next
done,
regular meeting. This is it. This is the next regular meeting. So before you bring this up, you should vote on the 54-20 unless you just want to let it die.
That was
Is
the
that your,
intention.
so you want to bring this up as a first and second read and not address the original resolution 54-20?
ain't that out of order? So let me make sure I get this right. So somebody decided that we didn't need to go through the process to even vote to see if 5420 was something that we all supported or did not support. So to avoid the vote, which is the reason we're on council as a council to determine by majority decision making based on the representatives that sent us here, just totally forget the representatives that sent us here and decide on how the vote would go and to negotiate or correction to go around, work around. This is how we do it. That is
Mr.
a
Austin,
whole
I
lot bad.
don't think that's the case, Mr.
That's a
Austin.
fact. The facts
I
speak for
think
themselves.
it's what the clerk stated. She
And the
gave
facts
you
speak for
the
themselves, though.
reasoning. I
No,
don't
I
think
didn't
that that's
vote.
the case.
You can't talk about the vote if the vote didn't take place. 5420 was vetoed by the mayor, a line item veto that is. And or I think that if this is the same information, then the second vote did not come. After the mayor vetoed it, there's supposed to be a vote that comes back to council.
Right.
If there's an intention
this
to
is
override
the
that
next
veto,
regular meeting, but I
that vote
guess
never
what
took place.
they're doing is just letting it die and bringing the same resolution. Is there an attachment to this with the line items?
The attachment is not on the screen. The function, I believe the clerk explained, was that in the past, when this has happened, this is what was done. There's no intent other than to get this stuff back on the agenda and get it passed so that we can move on.
If council so chooses, we can leave this one sit. It hasn't been placed on the agenda yet. We can bring forward the other one, and if you have enough votes to override the veto, so be it.
That's the right thing to do. That's what I'd like to do.
Well,
Nothing
Will
has
it happen?
changed, only the number has changed.
Nothing is- Yes.
how can we expedite this so we can move forward? What can we do legally so we can get this done?
You can ask to formally bring forth resolution number 54-20, which was line item vetoed by the mayor, and see if there are sufficient votes that would take 4 votes to override the veto.
So, Madam President, you want to do that, or what's your pleasure?
My pleasure is to get this done.
Then let's do it.
However it needs to be done, let's get it done.
All right.
To make the motion to
Madam
bring
President,
forward
just bear your
4820.
name.
I'll move that we bring forward with zero, what is it? Zero, what is
40,
it?
no,
The number?
No, 40.
4820. You want to bring forward?
No, it was
I
54.
move that we-
It
sorry,
we bring
54.
forward-
54-20.
Yeah, bring 5420. It's identical to this.
All right, I move that we bring forward 5420.
Would allow so-called dreamers to
Is there a
immediately
second?
cards. Other qualifying immigrants could
Who's
get
talking
Please, in the
background?
background, mute your telephone. We can hear the television and the kids playing.
Second.
All right, Mr. Austin, second.
I call the roll. Counselor Stevenson,
Yay.
Counselor Gowdy. Counselor Gowdy,
She's, I don't even see it on my screen.
Now, she's on there.
She's
Yeah.
there.
Well, all right, I see her now.
Got a
Mhm.
yay, Counselor Gowdy?
Yay.
Howdy, please.
What?
Damn, please.
What is
Counselor Martin?
Vote. Yeah, yay.
you saying? What is you
Good.
saying?
We can't hear you. I can't hear you vote.
Okay.
Did
then
you
don't
vote?
get excited. Calm down, Martin, please.
Voted.
Calm down.
Counselor Austin?
Yay.
Counselor Smith?
Yay.
Okay.
Now,
5420 will appear on the agenda.
all right.
The
Do
next
we
one
need
is
to move-
0521.
Okay, I move that we, 0521 be put on the agenda.
I can get that one. Give me a minute here, please. This is. Can you see this resolution 0521?
Yes.
Would you like me to read it?
Yeah, read it, please.
I will. A resolution approving the mayor's financial fiscal recovery plan in accordance with section 118.06 of the Ohio Revised Code for submission to the Financial Planning and Supervision Commission, the commission, and declaring an emergency for the public safety and welfare for the period of January 1st, 2021 and March 31st, 2021, not to exceed $5,767,094.96. This is requested by Mayor Brandon King, sponsored by Corinne Stevenson, Council President, and it is an emergency.
Can I ask the question? I noticed that it says that it was received from the law department on January 11th, 2021. And I know that we've been looking at this document for a long time. And I don't know if what was received. Is that like some amended document was received, or is this the same document we've been looking at all year? Last year I'm talking about.
The document in this case, Mr. Austin, was a complete document. It was a document that included all segments of the plan as required by the state of Ohio.
Like what?
The narrative. You all received that information. It's been sent out several times.
Right, but we've been looking at it for a long time.
No,
before
we have not
January.
been looking at the full document. We have been looking at a document that was full of numbers. We had no narrative explanation of anything that was supposed to be composed in the several different components of the plan.
Okay, well.
So
again,
we talking about
remember.
the grant?
Now, I could be mistaken, but I saw, I don't know what all you saw, but prior to middle of last year, we were looking at these documents because it pertained to how we would look. And once we finish this analysis with our East Cleveland Renaissance, we've been working with Cleveland State and all these other folks. These items actually fit into that overall plan for the next 5 years and beyond. So I don't know if we just received, well, I don't know what you saw on that day, but we're looking at information that pertains to this.
The
plan.
document that I saw that the council has been looking at is not attached to a 5-year plan. It's attached
What
to
is
the
it
plan
attached
that
to?
has to go to
A lot
the
of
state
money.
of Ohio, that should have went to the state in August. This is the plan for this year that tells that is required with regard to the fiscal emergency.
Right, and we've been discussing it for a long time prior to this day. That's my point, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
I mean, what common grounds did you come with, to actually to pass this? Because if you pass this, you pass in the budget also. Is this part of the budget?
If you listen to what it's all intertwined, yes, and it's all for certain amounts of money.
Yeah, but I need to see the whole full. I mean, even though you gave it to us or whatever, I mean, I have not reviewed it. I'm being honest. I have
It is
not
in the
reviewed it.
background.
Even if you did actually say that you gave it to us, it looked like something been changed, even though they was talking about it for a long time. This is a lot of money too, and it looked like to me that it need to be revisit. You know, I just need to know full details, full.
Ms. Gowdy, you have the full detail. I don't have any more information to share with you.
So share something that's with, okay, so you said is the money is divided by different parts, right? So what parts is it
The
divided by?
money, Ms. Gowdy, is a 90-day budget. It's the same as the.
Okay, so what we passed, okay, so what we passed, we just passed,
We passed a 90-day budget, the mayor line item vetoed. This is the
okay.
same, this is the same, well, this is the
So it coming
plan
back
that is
again.
required for the Fiscal Emergency Supervision Commission. Same
So
amount of money.
Councilman
Partial.
Austin got it thinking that it's for different groups or something.
I can't,
No.
we can only deal with what's in front of us.
Right, so this is a part of what we need. It's not the whole thing, it's a slice of what we need. And that's the fact, right? Councilwoman Stevenson?
This is a part, exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, okay.
Okay, we voted to move that to the agenda, is that correct? Madam President?
Well, I thought we were in discussion.
Well, I think the discussion is over.
Okay.
Did we get the clerk's situation together? Because I went line by line before, and it was a few things that I identified that were of concern for me. So it made it so that the employees that work tirelessly for the city were able to get paid for the next 90 days. And then I seen a slice,
that's right.
right, and then I seen a slice in there that would pay the council clerks for the whole year. So if the minutia kept on going, then they would still get paid and be comfortable coming to work.
No, I don't recall that, but we will check and make sure that's not the case.
Do you remember that discussion? Or did
No,
you?
I don't.
We never talked about the
I
clerk's
think
pay for a whole year?
you talked about it, but I
Because of
don't
a piece of
think that
legislation.
was that I even identified that. I think you had an older form of the plan.
An older form of the plan. Oh, I didn't see the new one then. I keep on, I'm having a hard time with keeping up with all these changes and you know, all this other stuff. I
So
guess I have
right
to go
now,
back
clerk,
and just,
where are we at?
Yeah, we need to do 0621, then we can move forward on all this.
so is it
Martin,
0521 squared away?
Let the clerk, where are we at? Are we ready to vote?
Can we call the roll on 0521?
Just to add it to the agenda so we can
Yes.
make sure
Right.
everything's okay.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yay.
Counselor Gowdy,
Right now, because I can't say yay, nay.
Counselor Martin,
Yay.
Counselor Austin,
I need to check on those salaries to make sure that we are all, you know, taking care of all of our employees in the city, not just the ones that work in the council office respectfully. I really appreciate what you do. But I need to quadruple check that one line and make sure that we don't fund a line out of this, in this budget that does not reflect the balanced approach going forward. So I just want to check that line. If I have to say nay to get that line checked, then I will. So can somebody check that line for me? And then I'll just need to know.
Tracy, could you explain better so we can understand what's going on with this line item?
No, resolution 0521 has to do with the fiscal recovery plan. 5420 was the temporary budget. All the line items that council, when we had done them, each and every line, they were divided in 4 of what the original amounts that came down from the mayor's office. If you look, everything was divided by 4. It was only a 90-day budget.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what I'm
everybody's salaries in every department or in each branch of the government.
Was there a
And if you
separate-
recall, the judge came back and requested a little over 29,000, which was a fourth of his budget, be put back in that one line item because it paid some salaries, and we did that.
Okay, so I got a clarification of that. So, thank you, because, I was thinking that we gonna pass the whole, budget.
No, that 5420 is your temporary budget. That's the one that
Okay.
was worked on diligently, and everything was divided by 4, so it was only for 90 days. If you took each
So
and
I
every
want
one
to,
and multiplied it by 4, that is your full year budget. No salaries were cut anywhere.
But hold on, wait, that's not true, because under
so,
the services line number, the several positions were cut, and those numbers were not divided by 4. That's not true.
The services we put, there's 50,000 put in there. They wanted 200. There's 50,000 put in there. We did not touch
No,
anything with.
I'm not talking about in the council line item number. I'm talking about across each department, their
Yes.
services were cut. I'm not talking about their like grass cutting services. I'm talking about their professional services line item number. Some of them was reduced to 0. 0 don't equate to 25% of nothing. So that's not accurate.
No, the but see, you said
Okay,
professional services.
So when you say that, when you say the budget is cut in 25% increments to equate to a whole annual operating budget for the whole city, that's not true. I just want you to state the facts.
Right.
I'm
Well,
paying a whole lot of
but
attention.
If you say
So-
professional services, that's something different. And it was
You said the
requested
budget
multiple
was cut.
times
You
to
said
let
the
us
budget
know
was cut.
what came out of the professional service line items. So,
That was just for the judge's office. That's not the whole city. So
right, but the
mayor
judge's
actually went-
office told us, and then for the service department that was put in there, once the other ones come through with the rest of the information, those funds can be put in there.
Information was in the plan in the beginning. So the mayor's estimate had those numbers in it. So I just look, let me say something, ma'am. Ms. Tracy,
Yes, I'm listening, sir.
I really appreciate your exceptional service to this point. So listen to me when I say I'm paying attention. The budget was not divided into 25% increments to equate to the 90-day window that we're trying to approve the temporary appropriations for. It was not.
No, it wasn't.
So
It was the mayor's estimate that came down. The council took some steps and reduced the budget and removed items from professional services because we don't know what that money is going to be spent for.
And
It's just
each
that simple.
department told you, hold on, during the budget hearings, each department told us specifically what those dollars were for. If we had questions, we asked those questions. The administration have done everything they could to, at their level best, I should say, to answer those questions. And
But
because
we have an obligation, Councilman, with regard to the
got you.
charter. If we request
Don't bring up
information
the
be
charter
given to
because
us
don't-
in
please.
writing, we have
do
an
that.
obligation to get that information.
And
You
we
can't
have
just
been.
push it aside because you think or someone in the administration thinks that they can have a conversation with this council and that conversation is sufficient when we are talking about money that has been misappropriated. That is not
We're
not going to
talking-
stand.
this estimate don't
I
have nothing to do with
requested on
misappropriated
more
dollars.
than one occasion a narrative document telling us by department what professional services funds were going to be used from. And to date, I do not have that document, Counselor.
Okay, well, can I say one more thing, please? As we take a look at what we asked for prior to the start of the budget hearings, we held our guns and I supported you saying that this is the document we want to have those guys filled out. They filled those documents out. And based on the left and right limits of those documents, it still did not meet your intent. So if you publish a document that does not meet your intent, please don't, how can I say?
Counselor, I don't demand that you do things that in the covering of your council area, and I would appreciate you're not demanding of me things that other folks have not been demanded or required to do. We need to get back on course here. Clerk, where are we?
I just don't want you to, I don't want the citizens to receive information that's not accurate and not have somebody that knows the information and can communicate the inaccuracy.
Councilman Austin, you've made your point.
Forward. I got it. So
okay,
just
so I would like to change my vote.
Clerk.
I would like to change my vote because this is the part where Judge Dalston, is this where he said that something was taken out, we need to put back in?
Right.
And we
Okay.
did. 5420 was put back in.
Okay, all right. I would like to change my vote to yay.
Okay, so we have yay for Counselor Stevenson, yay for Counselor Gowdy, yay for Counselor Martin, no for Counselor Austin, Counselor Smith,
Just to put 0521 on the agenda.
yes.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay,
I
the
still didn't get
next
the
one,
information about the clerk's salary being in here added or not added. And there was a separate piece of legislation that did that. I just want to see if that actually was just added.
Mr.
Nobody answered
Austin,
that
you are
question.
not represented at this time. We
Okay.
need to move on.
I know I
Councilman
ain't
Martin, you
represented.
have the floor.
Yeah, I moved that 0621 be put on the agenda.
Ordinance 0621 is an ordinance providing for the schedule of inter-fund transfers of funds between all funds and declaring an emergency not to exceed $46,099. This is requested by the Director of Finance and sponsored by Kareem Stevenson, President.
And
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we call the roll. Counselor Stevenson,
Yay.
Counselor Gowdy,
Yay.
Counselor Martin,
yay,
Counselor Austin,
Yay.
Counselor Smith,
Ordinance 06-21.
yes.
Yay.
Madam President, is Charles in attendance or is the mayor in attendance? That's my question.
They're both in attendance, sir.
Okay, I don't see on my screen, but go ahead.
What is your question?
My question was, are they in attendance? Charles and Mayor
Yes.
Brandon King. Okay,
Yes, I'm here, Counselor.
all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. So we could go back to the agenda. There are no minutes to be approved at this point. We have reports and announcements from the mayor.
Mayor King.
Thank you, Council President. Good afternoon, councilors. Try to keep my remarks brief. Many of you know we are in the midst of a pandemic. The shots have been rolling out here in the county. I would suggest that you check the county's website to get locations and when it will be open to the general public, or if you work for one of the health systems or your first responder, you check, you'll find out when and where you can receive your vaccine. Regarding the agenda for tonight and a number of things that have just been added, sure we'll have a lot more discussion as this meeting moves on. I have 2 points that I'd like to share with you. First, I'd like to thank council as a whole. Thank you individually. I know there are 2 new councils, so you weren't with us when I shared this bit of information. I know we're going through a rough patch, and I promise to try and do more empathic listening so that I can understand the concerns of what seems to just be the council president, but council, so that I can best address your concerns. I like to share these 2 things with you and thank you, because it illustrates how working together we can rebuild East Cleveland. What I'm holding in my hand, council president, is our first payment. First payment for a car that made it into the East Cleveland Impound and Detention Center. Legislation that we worked on as a council and administration a number of years. Many of you remember This is something I worked on when I was on council. So here's our first payment from our first car that was towed today. Much success, what we're hoping for. Also, I'd like to show you this. Not sure if you can see that. It's about 5-6 inches thick. This is a stack that I've been signing over the last few days of business occupancy / fire license and our rental registration. Council, I can't thank you enough for helping me rebuild East Cleveland together. This is something that could not have happened without your help. It's because of you. This is the first time, probably in the city's history, that we've had this many paid for occupancy certificates. All I got to do now is sign them and get them back out. I'd be remiss if I did not thank Director Milran Leach down in Building and Housing, that whole department, for the work that they've put in implementing the legislation which council has passed to bring this about. I'd also like to thank someone who's not thanked enough for the work they do tirelessly on behalf of this city, and that is our law director, Willa Hemmons, and the law department. Tirelessly to bring closure to what many of you will remember were the lawsuits challenging our rental registration and other fees that a lot of these big companies pay more, if not the same, in other cities, but simply refuse to pay East Cleveland. So I thank you again, council, because we came back to you a number of times to get this legislation sorted out so that it's something that can't be argued in court and hold us back further. I want you to know it's working, and we will continue rebuilding East Cleveland together. Unless there are any questions or concerns on my report, I'd like to thank you. That concludes my report.
Clerk.
Okay,
Thank you, Mayor King.
there are no receipts of communication and petitions. The next regular council meeting will be Tuesday, February 2nd at 6:30. And our next agenda review meeting will be Thursday, January 28th at 6:30. So we have reports from committees, contracts and property. Juanita Gowdy is chair.
Yeah, Thursday, February the 4th at 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
And we had met last month, well, this month too, but we is working on some things to pull out a committee so people can come and do business. So we are really looking forward to seeing contracts coming to our city in bids. So that's what I am working on, and also working on some other things that's going to benefit the city. And we definitely need a contract with the police department, the warrantless pursuit, that's something that we need to talk about and get agreement with, so people can't come in our city and just different departments of the police department coming into our city and just come in without announcing what they're doing, and it all stop. So looking forward to all this. So hopefully we'll get some business going on in our city, new business that people that want to do for our city. So that's That's my report.
Thank you. Next, we have Health and Safety. Nathaniel Martin, Chair.
Yeah, we had a good meeting. I want to again thank the police chief for the video and the transparency and his sharing with us all the questions we asked. Is he in attendance tonight?
I'm here, Councilman.
Yeah, is any, I'm going to share, if you need to add anything about the gun buyback program, we worked on it for months. We're trying to implement it. One thing that we're going to do is get flyers to the chief to pass out to the officers in the street. Also get flyers to all the council people to get it out so we can step it up. Right now it's slow, but I think it's going to be a win-win situation. And lastly, we talked about trying to meet with the other police chiefs like Cleveland Heights, Euclid, and Cleveland, and maybe they're the people that will have something to do. So the only way that we can, we have to coordinate this pursuit thing. We're not we cannot be isolated. It has to be collaboration and cooperation to pull this off. And it's going to take, I would say, the police chiefs and the people in that area to see if we can coordinate something over the next few months so that these pursuits can be, we can minimize someone getting hurt. So it's still a work in progress, but I'm feeling very, very optimistic about our gun buyback program. Chief Gardner, you want to add anything that I missed? Hello?
No, Councilman, I appreciate the acknowledgement and look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much. That concludes Health and Safety. The next Health and Safety meeting will be February 9th. We're hoping that the Bureau of Criminal Investigation will be concluded the incident we had a few weeks ago. We're hoping that that's concluded. I'm not sure if that will be. We spent a lot of time on that. Madam President, Madam Clerk, that concludes Health and Safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Martin.
Yeah.
Next, we have Finance Committee. Corinne Stevenson, Chair.
Finance Committee has met over the past several weeks with regard to the budget and trying to get the budget items situated. And hopefully we will get past this tonight so that when we have our next meeting on February 9th at 5:30, we can start to look at new things that need to be processed. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilor Stevenson. Next, we have General Services and Administration. Tim
Greeting.
Osborne, Chair.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
The next General Services Administration meeting will be on Thursday at 5:30 p.m. via Zoom. I am so looking forward to it. We plan on having a representative here from the Health Department to talk about our contract with the Health Department going forward. So we'll all be on the same page as to the benefits that they provide to us as well as the cost associated with that contract. We'll talk about some of the open and/or pending legislation and a few other things that would help us moving forward as we negotiate the winter season. Thank you very much, and that's all I have.
Thank you. And next, we have Personnel and Appointments. Ernest Smith, Chair.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Personnel and Appointments Committee will meet Tuesday, January 26, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. via Zoom. I really beg all of you all, our great citizens, residents, my neighbors, to attend all of the committee meetings as they are very, very important. Again, personnel appointments will meet Tuesday, January 26th at 5:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. The requested proclamation by Councilor Gowdy, and that's on behalf of Shaquille Tyson, will be presented at the next regular council meeting. We have no bids at this time. So under legislation, our first resolution is 01-20. A resolution in furtherance of the section, the council of the charter of the city of East Cleveland, providing that the council shall appoint council staff in accordance with.
Clerk,
Yes,
No,
clerk, I'm sorry, this should have been removed.
okay.
right.
01-21 should have been removed. Sorry about that.
Okay, next we have resolution 48-20. An ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into lease or purchase agreements for the acquisition of city vehicles for use by the Departments of Fire, Silverado 2500 4x4 WT Crew Chevrolet, Service, Silverado 3500 pickup truck with uplift, Building and Housing, Ford Transit Connect E9E passenger wagon, and Police, Transit 350 cargo van with uplift on the terms and conditions
There's no,
reflected in Exhibit A, hereto attached. This is requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Juanita Gowdy, Vice President. Co-sponsors are Nathaniel Martin and Timothy Austin, Councilors at Large. And this is a second read.
clerk,
Yes,
this resolution should have been reflected of a change that
Yes.
depicted the amount of money.
Right.
right.
Uh,
And
Deputy, which was
Yeah.
$181,000, I believe.
No, that's not true.
Okay, well, we requested a number of, some money for this, and we were sent a revised document. Is that correct?
That is correct. I sent the amount of money and each invoice for each vehicle. And I think it was about, I don't know, it was 180 something thousand.
Do we
So
have
that's
that
the-
document? Do we have that document?
just one moment, I'm looking for it.
Mayor King, go ahead.
Willa's clearing it up. We did create that document per the council's request, and I remember creating it and she sent it out.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It was,
We received
what-
it because I saw it.
wasn't it 181,000 something dollars?
Something like that, yes.
20. One moment here.
No one has a copy of the exact number that we can add to this legislation?
I
Hold
sent
on,
everyone.
hold on, Mr. Martin, hold on.
Right.
No, my understanding was that what I received were invoices from July.
No, it was updated.
Tracy, did you receive an update for that?
No, I got the same thing you did. They were still the ones from July. That's why we sent back a request.
But,
Right.
but the resolution had been changed.
Right, the
resolution-
resolution changed because she said that the dollar amount went up because,
Where's
we
the,
waited
where's
so
the
long.
revised resolution is what we need.
right.
Thank you, Council President.
It was emailed last Friday, if anybody needs to go back.
We can't hear you, Charles, speak up.
It said Director Hemmons emailed it last Friday at, let's see, at 3:09 PM, January 15th. With the new preamble, with the actual dollar amount in it.
Accompanied by the invoices for each vehicle.
It's not what I want. I can't
Can I
go,
make a motion?
I can only go into certain areas of this computer. So I can't log into remotely
Can I make a motion to accept the,
desktop at work to pull that. But I did pull my
Can
information.
we,
Councilwoman
Director
Stevenson.
Hemmings, can you give us that number? Clerk, can you write that number into this resolution?
Mayor, I'm on my personal computer because if I get on the remote computer,
I have it, Willa.
Director, if you have it. Thank you, Charles.
Everybody ready?
Yeah,
$181,470.76.
Okay.
okay.
say that one more time?
Charles, can you tell us what the source of funds are?
You said one more time?
The source of funds for this resolution? Is it general fund?
General fund.
Madam President, can I move on this then? There's enough sponsors here. If it's in order, I move the resolution 4820 move for its adoption.
Second.
That's Miss Gowdy, Mr. Martin.
Okay.
Miss Gowdy is the sponsor here.
I don't see it. Wait a minute.
It's multiple sponsors.
There's multiple sponsors. I don't see Gotti's name on here.
She's
I see it now. I
Resolution
see it.
4820.
Yeah.
Resolution
Well-
4820 bears your name, Miss Gowdy. What is your
But
pleasure?
it just seemed to me some stuff was just added on to this, and I don't
It was sent last week.
yeah, it just seemed like some more stuff was added on to this, and for what we had before, it looked like a good match. But it's kind of like
No, it's the same, Council.
I'm looking
Vice
at the
President,
building and housing.
It was
Okay.
the same as in July, except the prices went up because we didn't exercise the amounts within the right time. Those prices were from 6 months ago.
Can I make a motion to accept the resolution as modified?
Yeah.
It's just the prices increased from July.
Miss,
And so what I
So
sent
do we
was,
have attachment on all the prices and stuff like that so we know? Because
I
I see the resolution, but I just don't see no attachment to it because when I was asking for the attachment to each item that y'all wanted, I just didn't get it. You know, I still don't have it.
I sent it to everyone
Okay, when did you send it? Let me look it up.
at
When did you send it?
3:09 on
Today?
Friday.
On Friday?
On Friday, yeah. At 3:09 to your email with the
Is-
attachments.
Okay, so is this just estimate or y'all gonna straight out and just buy this stuff? Is this just estimate? This is what I'm trying to find out because so many things, I see some of these things,
I don't know.
some things has been added to it.
No, it's the same as in July, except the prices went up. And I put a footnote that this is time sensitive. I got
Yeah.
a response from Deputy Council, Deputy Council Clerk, Mrs. Peters. I got a response from her on the updated preamble.
Lord.
Yeah, that was sent today on behalf of Council President that she wanted the type of funds to be included in the preamble. We have the whole thing, but the backup documentation was still from July.
Yes, I'm just
No,
saying.
the updated prices are for 2021.
Put in the housing.
Yeah, the building and housing and the Ford transfer connected and the.
Yeah, did you?
Wagon, the wagon and the police.
Council Vice President, did you check
how
your
is
Friday
this-
email?
Wait a minute. How is, okay, is this being paid by the grant? Because I remember somebody said there was some grant money going to be
No,
paying.
this is general fund.
Oh, general funds. I heard it before, but I thought it was something, I think it was the police truck,
I think it was.
the ladder truck. Supposed to be in the grant money. So, I don't remember,
Did you check your email, Council Vice President, from
looking.
Friday, January 15th
Yeah.
at 3:09? Is
Councilwoman
someone there to
Stevenson?
assist her? Can someone assist her in locating her email?
I'm good, but I just wanted,
She got it. It's good.
Okay, thank you,
Good to go.
helper.
okay, so, we're
Friday,
gonna
you
move
got-
forward on this it was responded by the, okay, so we're gonna move this to,
Thank you.
This is a second read, Counselor Gowdy, so we will be voting to pass or not pass this issue.
all right, so, call the roll.
Are you gonna move to?
I move the resolution, or you gonna do it, Gotti? I'll move. Let's
Yeah,
move
I
forward.
moved that this
Excuse me.
resolution
We have,
to
we
be
have a
moved.
motion, we have a motion on the
Yeah.
floor.
Go ahead, Gowdy.
Yeah, I moved this motion. I moved this to be passed. If y'all want to pass it,
Okay, you move resolution 4820 be approved.
to be approved.
I second the motion.
Excuse me, please. We have a motion on the floor, a suggested motion from Counselor Austin.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
We didn't, Counselor Austin wasn't recognized.
He wasn't recognized.
And we didn't hear it.
Right, because she didn't recognize me, she recognized Gowdy. So Gowdy is the one recognized.
So
I think that the motion was to amend it to include the price.
Yes.
But the price is already included. It's just not on this document.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Do we need
looking.
that?
I don't even see the price. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm
Councilwoman
speaking the way I'm
Stevenson,
speaking, because I
recognizing.
don't see the price. So where's the price at? I don't mind
Charles
passing
just
it, but I
told
need
you
to
all
see the
how
full
much
price.
how much the price was, what the cost of these vehicles is, and the funds that are going to be used to purchase these vehicles are general fund monies. The cost, clerk, can you read the cost back?
$181,470.70.
Okay. So I move to this be approved by council.
I second the motion.
We call the roll.
Hold on, can she please just state it right? Just state it correctly for the record, just for the record, please? Please.
Yes. Would you
Thank
like,
Counselor Gowdy, you need to make a
Okay.
motion.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion for this to be moved. To be voted
The
on.
resolution 4820
Resolution
Be adopted.
to be adopted. 4820.
is there a second?
Second.
I second it.
Can we call the roll now?
Yes.
You can call the roll.
Stevenson? Counselor Stevenson?
Yay. I guess.
Counselor Gowdy?
Yay.
Counselor Martin?
Yay.
Counselor Austin?
Yay!
Counselor Smith?
Yay.
Resolution 48-20 has passed. Next, we have ordinance 5320, Tamia Chapman Law. An ordinance to stop all warrantless pursuits, those entering the borders of the municipal corporation of East Cleveland on warrantless pursuits from another municipal corporation whose legislative authority has not entered an agreement with the city of East Cleveland pursuant to revised code 2935.03. This is requested and sponsored by Juanita Gowdy, Vice President. This is a first read. Next, we have ordinance 02-21, an ordinance to change the name of Hartshorn Avenue to Tamia Chapman Way pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 723.03. 2023.04, change of name, vacating or narrowing streets on petition. This is requested and sponsored by Juanita Gowdy, co-sponsored by Timothy Austin. Counselor at large.
Madam Chair, may I be recognized? This is Willa Hemmons.
Go ahead.
Yes, we need a petition from somebody on that
Right.
street, okay? And so that it can pass. Did, Vice President, did you get a petitioner for the legislation so it can be
Well,
okay?
the mother working on it, so I will be picking that up, so. For the next council, for it to be
That
passed.
lives a resident of the street?
Yeah, I will get
Okay,
that.
very good. I just wanted to make sure, everything was okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we have ordinance 03-21, an ordinance to change the name of Wellesley Avenue to Shaquille Tyson Way pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 723.04, change of name, vacating or narrowing streets on petitions. This is requested and sponsored by Juanita Gowdy, Vice President, and co-sponsored by Timothy Austin, Counselor at Large. This is a first read.
Madam Clerk,
Yes.
this is Ernest Smith. I'd like to make a motion to change resolution number 03-21 to an emergency.
Okay.
For what?
What is the emergency, Mr. Smith?
Right.
What is the emergency?
Madam Chair, may I be heard?
Counselor Smith, did you hear Counselor Martin's question?
Yeah, I don't work for Councilor Martin. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
No, I asked a question, what is the emergency?
Because as Councilwoman Gowdy said, the young man Shaquille has done great things in the community. He was a real young man. I've talked to residents on that street, and I support Juanita Gowdy's efforts to change the name of that street.
But this is not an emergency.
I have the right. Okay, say no, Councilman. I'm about to go through this. Say no.
All right, it's not an emergency. It really isn't.
Director Hemmons?
Yes, I just want to make sure that we
need
had all
the same petition for this change of street.
Yes, if you please. I totally
Counselor-
agree.
And I really want to.
Gowdy?
Yes.
Counselor Gowdy? What is the status of the petition for the change of this street name?
Well, right now I'm getting ready to get a letter from a couple people on the street and to make it official. So I don't want at this time to be emergency until I have the complete protocol.
Shaquille
So we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
If I was online, I don't know if she's still online, but this is my prerogative. You all have the right to say no, no problem.
No, I'm not saying not
Mr.
to
Smith,
say
that's
no.
not,
but
Counselor
we
Smith,
got to-
that's not the situation.
I'm
The
not
motion
saying
is
that.
on the floor. Is
you
there
all-
a second?
No.
Is
At
there a
this time, I
second for
need the
Counselor Smith's
documentation.
motion? Hearing none? Without a second, Counselor Smith, your motion dies.
No problem. Thank you.
Next, we have resolution 04-21, a resolution to make temporary appropriations in various funds for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of East Cleveland for the period between January 1st, 2021 and March 31st, 2021, not to exceed $5,767,094.96.
Victoria, we didn't get to put this one on the agenda yet. Ms. Hemmons, when we discussed it, we were going, instead, we put back on 5420,
You're right.
which is the exact same thing, but you
Yeah.
do need a motion to vote to override the mayor's veto dated 12/29/20.
Before,
5420. It's the exact same thing as this.
okay.
These resolutions bear my name, so I'll be passing the gavel to Ms. Gowdy.
Okay, what is your pleasure?
Well, the clerk has to. Do we have 5420?
Unfortunately, we can't put it up on there, but 5420 is identical to 0421. It was just the number change. But you do need to make a motion, somebody, to vote to override the mayor's veto that was dated 12/29/20.
Is there a motion to override the mayor's veto?
I move that we, I move that we, a motion to override the mayor's veto dated, December 29th.
Second,
I'll call the roll. Counselor Stevenson,
Yay.
Counselor Gowdy,
yay.
Counselor Martin,
Yay.
Counselor Austin,
Yay.
Counselor Smith.
Wait.
Huh?
Huh?
Miss Himmons,
Nay.
you can't do that,
Willa,
sir.
you cannot,
You
Willa, you
can't do
cannot
that,
do
Willis.
that.
You
Willa,
can't
you
do that.
cannot
Hold on one
disturb
second.
that.
My
He said
mic,
yeah.
hold on, my record clicked out somehow. I don't know why. So hold on one second. Hold on.
That was a good one, Austin.
No, hold on
Real
one
good
second.
one.
I would like to retract my vote until I hear the other information. I'm still on the previous one talking about the name of the street. Did y'all hear me?
Discussion is over.
Okay.
No,
We can
that's
talk about
not
the
the
street,
name
right?
of the street. It's got something to do. You
Clerk,
already know what it
Clerk, Clerk,
It
can we
is
get
what
back
it
on
is.
task and call the roll?
I cannot hear it. Go ahead. What
heard.
happened?
You heard.
No. We still talking about the name of the street, right?
No, you know we weren't talking about the name of the
You already
street.
know we overcame that.
No, I
Clerk,
did not.
Clerk,
We have,
You can see my phone
Clerk,
clicked out.
point of order, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you restate? Can you hold on? Can you restate?
Clerk,
please?
are we calling the
On the
roll?
table.
Austin and Mr. Smith.
Can you restate the note on the table, please? Because my
Already-
phone clicked out.
We
Y'all
have-
heard me saying hello, hello, hello. I'm sure, right?
we have a motion to override the mayor's veto dated
yeah, no.
December 29th, 2020. And this
Yeah,
is
that's-
for
that's-
resolution 5420.
Nay.
Okay.
I guess so.
Willa's obstruction.
Then you have Mr. Smith's yet. You
I'm
didn't-
trying to get there.
Willa,
Counselor
you
Smith.
know what you did.
Nay.
Okay.
Override the veto. This fails.
They go to zero then. Shit.
What?
No, we'll have to,
Please,
I
mute
would
your
like to
mic and stop
apologize.
speaking out of turn.
I would like to apologize for the foul language. Yeah, on behalf of whoever just done it to the people. Thank you.
Well, it is gonna go to zero. Nobody gonna get paid.
Well, that's not true. The salaries are not what was changed.
These are salaries for some.
To my
Oh,
understanding, it was the professional services line items that were zeroed out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Clerk, can we move to where we are?
Well, before we move, is Willa Hemmons, Ms. Hemmons?
Yes.
Can you explain what's the next move? What is the move since we weren't able to override the veto? What's the
We
next
don't need
step?
her to explain that. We need the clerk to
I'm
read the next
asking her. I have a right to
resolution.
ask
We
her
want to
that.
hear it.
She jumped in and interrupt.
No.
We need the clerk
Austin
to
said
move.
yes.
Call me tomorrow.
Point of order.
All right.
Next, we have resolution 05-21. A resolution approving the mayor's financial fiscal recovery plan in accordance with section 118.06 of the Ohio Revised Code for submission to the Financial Planning and Supervision Commission and declaring an emergency for the public safety and welfare for the period of January 1st, 2021 and March 31st, 2021, not to exceed $5,767,094.96. This is requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Corrine Stevenson, Council President, and is declared an emergency.
This resolution brings forward the mayor's fiscal recovery plan. The fiscal recovery plan, like the main budget, is a 3-month budget that gives us time to find out what is really going on here.
Is there any discussion?
Is there is it correct that the fiscal planning supervision committee meets tomorrow?
That's exactly correct.
All right.
So we need it.
And I
Well,
would like to move that we pass this resolution so that we meet the timeline and the deadlines associated with that commission.
Madam Chair, Ms. Willa, may I speak? May I be recognized?
This look like the same.
Hello?
Ms. Gowdy, you have the gavel.
Yeah, God, you got the gavel. Come on.
There you go. You can speak.
Yeah, I think that the mayor's fiscal recovery plan was not limited to 3 months, and it was more than 5 million. I think it was more like 19 million. So this really.
Yes,
is
it
not the
was, but
mayor's
until we get
fiscal recovery
situated,
plan.
until we figure out what's going on here, I'm sure it was.
So this doesn't, this is not the mayor's fiscal recovery plan. This is a derivation made by council.
So what do you want us not to pass it?
It's not the mayor's fiscal recovery plan. I think that the mayor can speak to, or the finance director can say what was actually in the mayor's.
So Willa,
fiscal
let me,
recovery plan.
Council Vice President, may I jump in on Willa, please?
Yes, you can, Mayor. You can speak.
So Finance Director, Mr. Ian, are you on the call still?
Yes, I
Oh,
am.
yeah, can you please elaborate on what Willa started, please?
So even if you pass this resolution, the fiscal commission already has the fiscal plan. And so what they'll do is look at our appropriation measure and compare it to the fiscal recovery plan. And the two should match for at least for the current year, 2021. So I honestly don't know even with a past plan by city council, I don't know if they will approve the plan. They may and may not. I don't know. This will be uncharted territory, since my recollection of a fiscal recovery plan that does not match the current year's appropriation, if that makes sense.
Well, it makes plenty of sense if you all sent the plan before the council approved it.
The numbers on 2021 are annual appropriations. And so council decide to do temporary appropriation. The fiscal recovery plan is never a temporary appropriations on the fiscal recovery plan. It's a yearly annual numbered plan, if that makes sense.
No.
Well, according to, I don't see anything that says that it must be, it's called an annual plan. I agree with that part of it, but I mean, this is where we are. Is there any other discussion?
Yes, I would like to have a moment of discussion.
Okay, you can.
Thank you. As we take a look at this plan still has eliminated some critical components. And a part of that is not just the professional services. Other areas of this plan that are required to be fully funded are not fully funded. For example, we have some bills that are coming due at 100%, not at 25%. So for those line items that are due to be paid by the city of East Cleveland in order to uphold its contractual agreement, those lines must be funded at 100% to meet those bills that are due for some equipment previously purchased and for some services already rendered. So there is a requirement that the city meets those financial obligations. And as I read through some of the traffic recently from the physical supervisors, they talked about being able to meet your financial obligations. I think, Madam President, you may have sent one of the documents that I recently read, as if the city does not meet those financial obligations, it's kind of like being on probation and violating that probation. So that's how I liken the poor response from the city, especially since we have the resources to perform according to what each department provided us for their annual requirements. Thank you very much, and that's all I have.
Mr. Austin, with regard to paying of bills, if there are bills that need to be paid that are not covered in this amount of money, the
I agree,
finance
that's what you said.
department has the right to bring those bills to the council. With regard to contracts, I believe at this time, there have been numerous requests for contracts that the council has not seen. So if there's contracts out there that need to be paid, they need to be brought before the council. The council needs to make a decision as to whether or not they're going to pay them or not, because I don't think that we've seen all of the contracts that this city is involved in. And I feel terrible about that. Thank you.
And I agree with you, President, because there's a lot of contracts is out here and they don't come before council at all, and we barely get the bids. And so we need to know where every penny go. So when Councilman Austin is speaking up on that, he's reference to what they used to do. This is not what you used to do. And many a times that the charter has passed this portion, and we need to go on with this. And we need to pass this because it's necessary. Something is better than nothing. We need to keep our eyes on the money.
Madam President.
Yeah. Ms. Gowdy has.
Ms. Gowdy.
Yes, Mr. Martin.
They meet with the fiscal commission tomorrow. We'll find out if it makes any difference. Historically, we've always 90% of the time over 20 plus years, besides before us being in fiscal emergency, we've always done temporary budgets. Now,
yeah,
we'll find out tomorrow to keep it positive whether we can and whether we can't. I don't, their role is to make sure we don't overspend. That's the bottom line. If we don't spend what we don't have. Thank you.
But the temporary budget has been in the past, so we can still do the temporary budget. And that's bottom line. And with the
that is my understanding. When the council president meets with them tomorrow, and we may be a part, we will continue and we'll see what the deal is. Thank you.
All right, Madam President, I'm going to pass the gavel back to you.
No, you can't pass it back because there's two more pieces of legislation.
Yeah.
If
this emergency, we need a clerk, call a roll.
Call the roll.
Yeah.
Councillor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councillor Gowdy,
Yay.
Councillor Martin,
Yay.
Councillor Austin,
Nay, not in this current form.
Councillor Smith,
Nay.
Okay, Resolution 05-21 has failed. Moment here. Next, we have an ordinance 06-21, an ordinance providing for the schedule of inter-fund transfers of funds between all funds and declaring an emergency not to exceed $42,099. This is requested by the Director of Finance and sponsored by Corinne Stevenson, Council President.
The sponsorship of this legislation is a result of reimbursement from grant funds that creates an appearance in the general fund budget that we're overspending. The amount you see before you is the amount that we have advanced to other programs that needs to be covered.
Okay,
All right, Madam Chairman, Gowdy,
Yes,
is Charles still around?
anybody? Yeah, that's. any
Yeah,
discuss- any
Yeah, I like
discussion?
to, is Charles still around?
Yes, I'm still here.
Would you elaborate on this? Is this, what is your take on this from a finance standpoint? You're the finance director.
I don't recall $42,099 as a request for a transfer or advancement from the advances. If that number is reference to the 2021 transfers and advances that we sent to council, that 4299 has nothing to do with current deficits. We actually have multiple deficits because we didn't do a transfer in 2020. So we have, I believe, 8 deficit funds going to 2021. So this 4299 is not going to suffice.
Where are the 8 deficit funds at? Because all I saw was professional services, $800,000. I saw $1.3 million in transfers, but the advanced amount out of our budget was this $42,099. So where are the other?
So the advances is not a transfer. Transfers is when you take money and it doesn't come back to that fund. And advance is when you just obviously advance it and it gets put back into that fund when, so even this language of transfers of funds is not accurate.
Where is the 1.3 million? Where is the backup, the identification that identifies the $1.3 million in that you're requesting to move?
It was given to council.
Yes, it was given to council, but it was given to council in a manner that I'm having a problem with because it does not identify the contracts that you all are saying that are outstanding. It does not identify any of the bills that you all are saying are outstanding. And so you can't, and I say this over and over, you can't just hand me some papers with some numbers on it and expect for me to approve it because I don't have anything to associate it to. It's just a piece of paper with some numbers.
Madam Vice President, is it difficult to answer these questions? That's bothering me, right? We've been dealing with these budgets now for a couple of months. What the president is requesting in the as chairman of the finance department, is it difficult, Charles, for that information to be provided?
No, it's not.
Then I suggest.
But I don't know, but before, I need to really understand what is being asked.
then
Councilwoman
you and Corrine need to sit down and work this out. We've been dealing with this too long. You and her
Councilwoman
need to sit down and what she's asking for, give it to her.
Proper documentation.
It's
Councilwoman
that
Dodd.
simple. Why are we do back and forth with this for 2 months?
Charles,
If she's
may I-
Council
Because
Vice
the
Chair.
justification is
if
not
she's
there.
asking for it, give it to her.
What
So
are
we
the 8 deficit funds, Charles?
Please.
Street fund, police pension fund, fire pension fund, FEMA grant.
Okay, I'm gonna have to see all of that because this is now becoming, it's starting to get redundant because we say we save money with CARES Act funding by funding police and fire stuff, and now you're telling me we still at a loss with police and fire?
Police and
Councilwoman
fire
Gotti, can I be
pension fund.
recognized?
I didn't stop where I'm going at. We're not going to be able to resolve this tonight. You and her need to sit down. This needs to be placed in committee till we can get this done. I don't want to go over this again. I really don't. So I'm asking with humility that you and her sit down and answer and get these questions resolved, please.
Yeah, I have a comment, please.
And I'd like a
Just hold
comment
on,
as well
Councilman.
afterwards.
Hold on, Councilman and Mayor.
Thank you.
Any more discussion, Martin?
No, no.
Madam President, that's all you needed to ask?
What I need is for this administration to respond in writing. What is a department's professional service account used for by department? I don't know that information and I'm not going to guess. You can tell me from now until the end of the earth that what this stuff is for. But in my experience, what happens is you tell people one thing and they pass that budget and then that money is moved or can be moved to use for other things. I need justification of the expenditures of the money in this budget. It's just that simple.
Okay, she's looking for documentation and everything else, so I hope that y'all come to agreement of giving her what she needs.
And if it goes back to committee, that's fine with me.
Right, and that's my recommendation, Vice Chairman, that it goes to committee till this is worked out. So let's get these questions answered. That is the responsible thing to do. That is the responsible thing to do. Thank you.
I agree. Councilman Austin.
Thank you very much.
I recognize you.
Thank you very much. As we take a look at where we've been and the amount of information that comes out on a monthly basis as to what funds are where, and they are even, if I'm not mistaken, they are highlighted and sometimes even color coded to the various funds that are overspent and why they're overspent. Now, I'm not going to say overspent, but certain funds need more frequent transfers than others, such as the street fund. The employees from the service department get paid out of the street fund. I'm not looking at any documentation. I'm just recalling a lot of the information that has been presented to council. I don't know whether we just don't write it down or we intentionally evade certain bits of information for fear that they might solve a quandary that continues to build for too long. So I would like the opportunity to have our finance director actually present the information for January in the end of, or maybe for December in the end of month report format. I know there has been some challenges actually being able to present the information as has been done in the last almost 3 years. Getting a end of the month report presented by the chair of the finance department saying these lines are perfect, these lines have excess, and this is why. These particular funds have negative balances, and this is why, because there are some transfers that are due. And if we get that line by line comparison on a monthly basis going forward, there will be no misunderstanding at the end of the year. So the end of the year budget will go as it should, to be approved and everybody well informed, and the citizens have the services that they deserve. Thank you.
Madam Vice,
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I
Yes.
need to say that may be what some people need, but that's not what I'm asking for. I'm simply asking for justification for this budget.
okay. Thank you.
Madam Vice President,
Yes.
it's very simple. She sits down, all her questions, and get them in writing, she has the right to ask that. And Charles to respond to that so we can get past this. But I don't want to have another meeting where she's asked for things and she's not getting it in writing. Put it in writing.
And not only putting it in writing,
Please.
give some documentation to back it up with. Give us some invoice, give us something that you had talked to these people and made agreement with, and we need to know where every penny go. And the line items that's been moved throughout the years, we don't even know what line item Charles be transferring money back and forth from. So he shouldn't be touching no money without coming in front of council anyway, in a lot of cases.
Charles, did you get bills from the pension funds to substantiate their deficit?
Can I say this one? As the finance director, council, you gotta understand, I don't run each department. So the justification that is being asked, Councilor Austin kind of alluded to already. The departments are the ones who are getting services done. I, as the finance director, do not direct them to get whatever services they need to run their department. With that being said, we can have I can tell you where we're paying things out of professional services, but if you ask the question why, I can't answer that. I don't run the departments. I only run my department, finance, and I can tell you what finance needs professional service for, but I cannot give you justification for every department for why they need professional services. Unfortunately, the budget hearings was supposed to provide that, and it sounds like it didn't.
I understand that. So there has to be a way, and maybe what we'll do is just have the clerks to send out a document to the department head to resolve this issue, because it's been going on for a couple months now.
Council Vice President, I'm still waiting.
Okay, the president was talking. I will get to you, Mayor King.
He can go ahead, I'm done.
Okay. Go ahead, Mayor King.
Thank you, Council Vice President. So I'd like to thank Charles, and I'd like to thank Councilman Austin for chiming in on this dilemma. I stated to council before, a lot of the professional services and a couple of the line items that then go in happen on a case-by-case basis. And a lot of the information that you're asking for happens, and we can give to you after the fact. So for example, if we gave you all of the expenditures which occurred in that line item in 2021, you would say, well, what is QUAT? Why is all this QUAT in there? Why are all these gloves there? Why do you have all these face masks that didn't show up in 2019, right? So there has to be money in the budget, in line items that allow for that flexibility. The finance director alluded to what is required of the state and what many municipalities do to then give them that flexibility. Council President, has asked that the departments fill out these forms. They did that. We had budget hearings. That is the place to then ask your questions for what they expect to do in the coming year. 2020, the police had training. They had sensitivity training. We brought in Ronald Dunn, a nationally renowned expert on sensitivity training for the police. That came out of that line item. So many of these come after the fact. What I would ask, because I've asked this on countless times, please, we have limited staff.
He changed
Please
the course of
stop
history.
asking the staff to do all of these written assignments. Last week, you had a series of finance meetings where you asked these questions and the finance director gave you the answer on the spot. I think that works out better. We spent an hour, we covered a lot of ground. Beautiful. That's better than have him answer 10 questions, send it to you, and then you send another 10 back. Finally, if the administration sends you down legislation, please, please, and I ask this as humbly as possible, do not change the legislation and then put the finance director's name on there after you've changed it. Look the position that you put the finance director in, or any director for that matter. If you change it, please put your name on it. Thank you, Council Vice President.
You're welcome. Any more discussion before we move on? Now that's the first I heard.
We're moving
Tracy?
it back to committee. We're moving it back to committee.
We will be moving.
She's moving it back to committee, and I still recommend, Chairman, that Charles and the president get this done, whether just the two of them. Okay, she knows what's the questions that she need answered. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
All right.
And Charles is licensed in bond, so he should be the only one that, you know, we really should be talking to. On this 06-21 is going back into committee?
Committee, correct, right.
All right. So we're gonna move on. I'm gonna pass the gavel back to you, Madam President.
Clerk.
Okay, next we have remarks and requests of the public. 3-minute
moment,
time
please.
limit.
Information. Point of information. Since 5420 did not pass, do you wish to make a motion to add 0421 to the agenda as a first read?
We can. I don't, that's up to the council.
Well, I mean, call the roll. We vote on it.
You need a motion first. That was the one we prepared in replacement of 5420.
Okay.
What is it now? 0421, Tracy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I moved the resolution 0421 for first read.
Yeah.
Need a second?
Second.
We call the roll. Counselor Stevenson.
First read.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, okay.
First
Excuse
read.
me.
Okay, go ahead. It's okay.
We can move on. It's first read, okay?
You still need to put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
All right.
Move it to agenda.
I moved it, 0421 be moved to the agenda.
Agenda. Yeah.
We need a second.
Second.
And you need to take the roll.
Counselor Stevenson.
Yay.
Counselor Gowdy.
Yay.
Counselor Martin.
Yay.
Counselor Austin.
Nay.
Is that a nay?
Nay.
Counselor Smith.
Nay.
Okay. Resolution 0421 has been moved to the agenda.
So, point of order. So now, never mind. This is too crazy. Never mind.
please provide a professional opinion, Madam Law Director, or legal opinion, if you will.
Mr. Austin,
He's not running the meeting.
Nor are you.
Yeah, you're all over the place, Austin.
come on. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Clerk, where are we?
We have moved Resolution 0421 to the agenda as a first read. We have a resolution to, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We have a resolution to make temporary appropriations in various funds for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of East Cleveland for the period between January 1st, 2021 and March 31st, 2021, not to exceed $5,767,094.96, requested and sponsored by Corinne Stevenson, Council President.
I
Well,
would have to pass the gavel to Ms. Gowdy.
yes, Council President, this resolution bear your name. What is your pleasure?
This is a first read.
This is a first read.
Right.
We're not voting.
This is a first read, so we're not voting, but it is a temporary measure.
Next, we have remarks and requests of the public. 3-minute time limit, please.
I have a question. Hello?
Name and
Can you hear me?
address, please.
All right, my name is Christy Foles. My address is 16049 Henley Road. First of all, I wanted to know what has happened with them doing the street lights and putting up the traffic light at Forest Hills?
Mayor King.
Thanks a lot for that. Wanted to make sure there's no problem.
Council, I'm sorry, I missed that question.
Not as I know.
One more time,
Can
please.
you,
I was
ma'am, can you repeat
asking
the
about
question?
the traffic light that is supposed to be installed on Forest Hills and Lee Road.
Yes, so that traffic light is up. We are having challenges getting power to it. It has to be trenched. The power that's there now is, if I'm not mistaken, on the Cleveland Heights side. It belongs to Cleveland Heights, so we're trying to get it trenched so that it sits on the East Cleveland side. If you've been a resident up there for a number of years, the location in which that box was for a number of years was continually hit. So they're trying to move the box and then trench it underground. There may be 2 or 3 lights around the city that are new traffic control signals that we're having a challenge getting the power to them to get them functioning as we'd like to. We are working on it.
Okay. All right, thank you. And my second comment is, and just bear with me, I found this meeting to be most contentious. I just think that a little bit more professional attitude when speaking to each other and about things and keep going over the same points is a little bit redundant for professional people in a council meeting. I also think that preparation needs to be done a little bit better. Documents need to be reviewed and discussed prior to a meeting. This was really a very difficult meeting for a resident to sit through and listen to this bickering back and forth. This is just only my personal opinion, but I think people really need to check their own professional demeanor when you're conducting these meetings.
Thank you. Any other comments from residents?
Yes, Kelvin Irby, 14802 Elm Avenue. My question is for the chief, if he's still on the line, or the mayor. What is the status with street patrols due to the fact that there's enough drug activity on Elm Street, and I need that addressed ASAP? Second question is for the raccoon abatement program. Like to know, when are you guys going to put that in implement? And that's all. Thank you.
Mayor King,
I'm sorry, Council President.
yes.
Yes, there's a specific
Resident,
question.
can you repeat your question to the mayor?
First question is, what is the status on street patrols due to the fact that I have drug activity on my street? Second question is, when is this rodent abatement program going through due to the fact of the large number of raccoons in my area?
Okay, so the community police is up and it's in full force. If there are particular areas that you would like address or given a little more attention, please let us know. Whenever there's serious drug activity that you believe is going on, I would ask that you not come to a council meeting and basically say it and, you know, give a street, but please do contact my office or contact the police so that we are made aware of it in a more discreet manner, if you will, please, for your own safety. We don't want, you know, any mishaps out there. Now, in regards to the rodent abatement, it is our understanding that the gophers or the groundhogs are asleep right now, and that they wake up, they hibernate for a couple months. So it's my understanding that they're asleep. So right now, there is no rodent abatement. I would like to thank council. The line item veto that I did to the temporary appropriations allows the city to bring back rodent control and abatement. That was one of the items, one of the line items that was
Veto.
that was zeroed out by the council president. So I did restore it with the line item veto so that we can continue to address this 50-year problem of rodents. I hope that answers your questions. If not, please don't hesitate to call my office, 681-2208. Thank you.
Are there any further remarks of the public?
Yeah. Justin Anderson, 14436. I wanted to talk a little bit about the mayor's veto. Basically, he just said that once he vetoed it, he restored it. And so what he's saying is that the amount he put in is the amount that he's allowing the departments to spend out of. And if that's the case, there's no need to ever pass a budget because, you know, you pass a budget, he veto it. If that's the case, veto the whole budget and write in every amount that you want to write in there. It doesn't make any sense. When you veto something, I would advise you to look up the definition of it. But basically, that line item goes to zero now that it hasn't been, the veto wasn't they didn't override the veto. It doesn't mean you veto and write in what you want. So every one of those line items, Charles is paying somebody out of those line items, he's in serious violation of the law. What council should have done was overrode the veto tonight. That way there could have been some money in those line items. Now he is to spend no money in those line items, and there's no legal opinion Ms. Hemmons can father up to support that he's allowed to write in numbers as to what the line items will have. Once it's vetoed, it goes to zero. So if Charles, if you spending money off those line items, especially with all the attention we got going on in this city about misappropriation of funds, you need to be added to the list. Because now those line items are zero and he can't spend anything. You cannot just come up with your own budget. If that's the case, there's no need for the council to put a budget together. So when you talk about you restored those line items, you ain't restored nothing. Those line items are zero and no money can be spent out of. You did that to yourself with the help of a couple of others. Thank you.
Any further remarks or requests of the public? Next, we have response from council and the mayor to remarks of the public.
Mayor King.
Thank you, Council President. Okay, so thank you. I would invite any resident who is on the line, as well as anyone else on this line. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock is the fiscal commission meeting. I believe it's a Teams meeting. That information should be on the city's website. I would invite you to join the meeting tomorrow. In regards to things, statements that I make, or that Willa Hemmons, the city's law director, makes, or Charles Iyahin, the city finance director, any resident wishing to see the documents that support what we're saying, as always, please ask me for those documents. I will give you the documents that says I can line item veto. I can put in a number and then operate that line item, that department from that veto and the line item that I put in. I will give you the documents. Unless there's any further questions or concerns of me, Council President, that concludes my remarks. I'd like to bid everyone a good evening. Thank you.
Before you go, Mayor King, I would like for you to send those documents to the council clerk. Thank you.
No problem. We'll resend it because we sent it already. We'll resend it down. No worries.
Right.
Thank you, Willa.
You sent a document that said that you could add money to a veto line item?
No.
We'll resend the document, and any resident who would like to see that document.
Mayor King,
Yes.
you didn't, you
Yes, we
sent
did.
us the vetoed materials. You never sent an explanation.
That you case
Because
law.
it's
I
not-
sent it
Yes.
Where is it?
in your email. I'll resend
Please.
it in the morning.
Please, thank you. I appreciate that.
The mayor
Counselor
had me
Gallup.
do extensive research before we did anything.
Counselor Gowdy,
Yeah,
you have
I'll
comments?
wait, I'll wait to speak, after you. Before you.
Counselor Austin?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I did make a couple of notes. And I think somebody said that the council puts together a budget for the city. They don't. They review and approve appropriations generated and or plans generated from the administration. The council doesn't put together a budget. Because we have nowhere to start. There's no start point for the council. We don't know how this support that is required by the administration, where to start with that support. And I did actually see the line item veto that the mayor put together. And when I read through the case law that he presented to us, it said that he had based on case laws, based on past cases that went to court and approved, and this was the outcome. And based on the case law that I read, it allowed the mayor to roll the zeroed out line numbers, the council zeroed the line numbers out, so that kind of support would not happen. So what the mayor did is looked at what is absolutely required for the residents of East Cleveland in order for them to be okay through this season. And that case law allowed the chief executive to roll back those numbers to provide the same support that was provided before the line was zeroed out through that veto. So I did see the case law. I read it. I looked over some of the entries that were made, it was quite a few entries that were made, because I know we say we don't know what it meant or we didn't understand what the support requirements were for those lines, but I looked, and that's how I had the additional information, because I actually read the information, took it in like I meant to do it, and I'm able to provide myself an outcome that is beneficial to the resident. So I did see the information about the fiscal commission meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. And if the clerks would be so kind as to actually get that link and send it out to all of the council on a reoccurring basis, so we don't have to kind of hunt that information down, I would really appreciate it. And to our residents that logged on tonight, I commend you, I applaud you, and please help me help you as we continue to grow and get better. Thank you, and that's all I have.
Counselor Martin.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about the budget. Timing is everything. There will be a meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock that will get some things answered. I do know that over the years, we've never had a big issue with doing a temporary budget. And most of the time, the temporary budget is to work out our differences before we do the permanent one. So we'll get answers to that. If a council person asks for certain information when it comes to the budget, that information should be provided. I have a lot of consternation about the fact that we've been dealing with this budget for 2 months now. And we seem like we go 6 feet forward and 6 feet back. So prayerfully and hopefully we'll get this worked out. Tomorrow will be the fiscal commission and see what we can do, what we can't do. But I do feel with a whole lot of humility is that we have to work and help each other and provide information. Once the council passes the budget, the mayor has the whole year to do what he has to do. So we have to cross the T's and dot the I's. That's a responsible thing to do. Okay, you're dealing with human beings. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's got their flaws and their shortcomings. But this budget is vitally important to get done what we want to get done for 2021. So I'm praying and hoping that Corrine Stevenson and Honorable Mayor Brandon King get all the questions that she's been asked, the 8 that she brought up this evening, be answered. So we can finish this budget. One of the reasons why I think that we have a temporary budget, and this is to the public, is because certain questions has not been answered. And the questions are basic questions. And forget about the rhetoric. Put it in writing. That way it's not an issue any longer. It's not. We have made some progress over the last few years. And if we're going to continue to do that, then we have to be reasonable and we have to be responsible. Thank you very much. I've spoken.
Counselor Smith.
Thank you to my colleagues. Thank you to our 2 Madam Clerks, Mr. Mayor, Madam Law Director, Mr. Finance Director, our Chief of Police, Chief Gardner. Most importantly, I want to really thank the residents, my neighbors, the people who we work for. Really want to thank you all for taking time out to attend these Zoom meetings in these very difficult circumstances. We are new to the Zoom meetings. So I really want to thank you all. It really started off slow as when we first started getting on the Zoom meeting. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, I thank everyone who was online, and you can see and hear what's going on with your government, what's going on with your elected officials, so you can see about your health interests, rights, and needs. In closing, I do want to say that one council person does not speak for all 5 of us. That's ridiculous. I our elder colleague keeps stating about in the past that a temporary budget has been passed in the past, but not in the past 3-4 years since we've been on fiscal emergency. We've been passing the full year's budget. So, you know, just want to put that out there. And again, thank you for attending. As I stated before, our committee meetings are very, very important. You know, there's going to be some debate. There's going to be some back and forth, but I do agree with our resident. I do want to apologize on behalf of every elected official in East Cleveland for the extra, well, that wasn't an elected official, that was cursing, but just for the extra. And I you know, I just hope everyone does a background check and see what's going on and why some of these things right now are taking place. The personal attacks and everything, that just needs to. But again, I thank you. My number is 216-925-0957. You have any questions or concerns, no matter the ward. Thank you. Ernest L. Smith.
Counselor Gowdy.
Yes, I want to thank each and every one of you from coming out and having your voice heard. And like one of the residents said that, you know, when the mayor vetoed a budget, and the budget really wasn't even signed, but he vetoed it before it even got signed. So it just shows that we all need to work together. And the budget was for 90 days for the people to get paid. And we know we have people that's in need, but some of the contracts that comes up never come before council to be renewed contracts. We don't even know any bids. And we looking forward to working as a whole, as council and as well with the mayor. But the mayor have to really tell the truth about what actually is going on. And he vetoed the budget, and the budget came back. And then he put in what he wanted to put in. And now they vetoing some, I mean, they didn't pass a lot of things tonight, you know, that needed to be passed. You know, it took 4. It took 4 for the emergency to pass it. And, you know, we have to start working together, council. We cannot, we is our own administration, and we need to work together. And for us to be bittering back and forth, it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And I do apologize on my part, but some things need to be clear. We're not getting a proper documentation. We're not getting no invoice of what we really was asking for from the administration. So we trying to work with the administration, the mayor and Willa, you know, just like she cut in, and Timothy, Council Austin, had cast his vote, and then he turned around and changed his vote. He knew what he was doing. So we got a lot of work to do, and I'm going to keep us in prayer that we'll work together. And council president, all she was doing is still asking for the same things that she's been asking from the beginning. And this is why the budget have to be 90 days, because we're not getting everything that's we supposed to have in our hands to review. So my prayers go out to everybody that we can work together as council, and we need to stick together when it's time for things to be done right, so our city can move forward. Thank you, and you have a blessed night.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out this evening. I, as the council president, have a responsibility to the residents of this city. If there are questions that you walk up to me on the street and ask me, and I cannot answer those questions, you're not going to think too highly of me. My position is to ask the hard questions and get answers. I have no problem with that position. I am going to continue to ask those questions until I get the answers that I need. It is not difficult for anyone to create a budget narrative. They've been created for years. The explanation of what is going on with the money, the fact that there are bills that need to be paid, all of these issues come before this council, and this council cannot answer those questions. If the council cannot answer the questions, then our constituents are just going to look at us like, well, what are they doing? They're not doing what they're supposed to do, so we need to get rid of them too. I didn't come here for that. I came here to do what is required, what I was sworn by law to do, to uphold the Constitution of Ohio and the United States of America. And where there's discrepancy, I will meet it head on. I have tried, like my colleagues have noticed, for the last couple of months to get a budget narrative, but I just can't seem to get one out of this administration. There are, I'm sure, bills that need to be paid, but by the same token, some of those bills this council are supposed to know about, we don't know about. So that's pretty much where we are, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully tomorrow there'll be some clarity. We will meet again, hopefully with some of the staff to get clarity on these professional services line items once and for all. I wish you all a good evening and a peaceful transition. Tomorrow is going to be a spectacular day for some of us.
Madam President, I move that the meeting be adjourned.
Can I finish speaking, please?
I thought you were through.
No. Okay, I'm gonna end, Mr. Martin.
All right.
Tomorrow is going to be a good day for some of us, and I hope everybody finds it to be a peaceful day, even though there are rumors of unpeaceful activities. With that said, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I move that the meeting be adjourned.
Second.
Thank you. Have a good evening. All in favor?
All right.
Thank
Meeting
you.
is
Have a good
adjourned
evening.
at 8:37 p.m.